with a 50% deposit bonus. Increase your
Broke and red bar.
Yeah.
And I think I'm excited to be here because I want to become the champion again.
I love that vibe. This is a new format, Champion Rush. I think Onyx is really confident with this. So, crying. Since you were the champion of Free Fire,
It's our first time. We are gonna represent our country very slightly, and we are gonna give a banger.
okay, so I'm really glad to hear that since a new country that joined to Free Fire again, which is Bangladesh. So, how do you feel about it versus 2025? Was it fun, or do you feel the hype, do you feel the heat in it?
That is too much fun for us, and that's our first time. We also feel hype on this matter, but this is good.
Yeah, I do feel like that. So, how does it stay in Riyadh?
We are traveling here for the first time, and this is quite good.
Because I feel the same as well. So, since this is the first time I saw Bangladesh in our tournament, so I wish all the best to you.
Thank you.
Good luck to your team fighting.
And we are back at the Players Lounge with Team Vitality. And I have here Koja and Chris. Okay, I would like to know Koja expectations for the video.
Kamu bisa bantu jawab gimana ekspektasi kamu buat next day nanti?
Ekspektasi aku sih yang pasti pengen lolos dari final dulu terus bawa piala.
Okay, his first expectation is gonna qualify to grand final first, and after that in the grand final he wants the trophy.
Okay, since we are talking about grand finals, I would like to know what are his main strategies.
So, Koja, gimana nanti strategi kamu ketika bermain di final?
This land is calling.
Heat in it?
That is too much fun for us, and that's our first time. We also feel hype on this matter.
Brazil was able to take holds the remaining keys, a graveyard of fallen contenders. Will your dreams be broken or your name carved in golden stone? At EWC, nothing is granted, everything is earned.
যে সাইডে কত জানি জানা পাইছিলাম পরে উইডে তোমার কথা মনে করছি তুই আমার ফোন কই অন্য যদি কথা বললাম ওষুধ খেয়ে কোনো কাজই হয় না
আমি দেখতে ভাই क्वार्टर में भाई RHK क्वार्टर আছে ভাই RHK क्वार्टर में भाई RHK ओ भाई तुम्हारा कितने तीन को मार रहा है भाई ओ भाई अर्जुन कर दिया भाई क्या ही मार रहा है भाई ये अप्रोच शॉट भाई ओ भाई साहब टीम एलिमिनेटेड भाई की क्या खेल रहा है भाई इधर भाई क्या ही खेल रहा है भाई इधर भाई साहब क्या हो रहा है भाई साइबा इधर साइबा का देख रहा हूँ भाई साइबा को इधर पोजीशन लेके बैठा है भाई एसीएटे लेके आर्या तुम्हें हमारे साथ मिला रहे हो ओ भाई क्या चल रहा है एक्शन भाई क्या चल रहा है भाई ओपी भाई हाँ भाई क्या ही फाइट चल रहा है इधर भाई, खतरनाक। ओ भाई साहब ये क्या चल रहा है भाई, इधर क्या चल रहा है देख रहे हो भाई, इधर क्या चल रहा है भाई, हंगामा चल रहा है भाई, हंगामा। ओ फ्लिकर एक्टर डाउन करे से, फ्लिकर एक्टर डाउन करे से, फ्लिकर एक्टर डाउन करे से भाई, पुट एक्टर डाउन करे से भाई। ओ भाई क्या ओपी 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 भाई, ब्लेड मारे से भाई, ओपी। ओ भाई 3 किल आ गया हमारा बांग्लादेश टीम का भाई, 3 टीम आ गया भाई ऑलरेडी, 3 किल आ गया भाई ऑलरेडी भाई। माइंड भाई आपका आवाज आस्ते बोलो भाई, आपका आवाज नहीं सुना है हमारे भाई, थोड़ा सा धीरे बोलो आ जाएगा। আস্তে কথা বলেন, কথাগুলো আটকে আছে, কত করে বললে আটকে অর্ধেক শুনে আরো আস্তে কর, দূরে রাখেন মাইক দূরে রাখেন। অনলি বিডি ভাই, অনলি বিডি ভাই। हाँ भाई हमारा तो भाई बीडी भाई, आरएचके है ना इधर भाई, देखते हैं भाई आरएचके क्या मार खाते क्या मारता है भाई। हम लोग चाहते हैं भाई काप भाई, काप चाहते हैं भाई, काप बॉल सीरीज का काप चाहिए हम लोगों को, बीडी का भाई, बीडी का बीडी भाई। क्या कर रहा है इधर भाई, ओ भाई हाइट में एंगेज कर रहा है भाई, इवोस के साथ एंगेज कर रहा है, इवोस के साथ, इवोस नहीं है यार, ओ इवोस भी है भाई, इवोस भी है भाई। इधर तीन स्क्वाड भाई, इधर 3 स्क्वाड आ गया भाई, इधर क्या फाइट होगा अभी देखो भाई, इधर क्या फाइट हो रहा है भाई, देखो गुरु
तो ख्याल नहीं।
ओ भाई इधर क्या अभी फाइट होगा वो देखना है भाई, ये देखना है भाई, ये देखना है भाई क्या फाइट होगा अभी भाई इधर। ओ भाई क्या है भाई, मैं हमारा टीम भी जा रहा है, हमारा टीम भी जा रहा है भाई, उधर कुटुस भाई जाओ भाई, मारो भाई मत। ओ भाई देखो हमारे स्क्वाड क्या कर रहे देख लो भाई, इधर इतने स्क्वाड भाई, वो लोग भाई भैया इस कार्बन यूज कर रहा है भाई, आर्बन यूज कर रहा है, देख लो भाई आर्बन क्या मार रहा है भाई, आर्बन ओ भाई आर्बन मार रहा है भाई। ओ भाई ऑफलाइन फ्लिटर
बेटा करे।
ओ भाई इधर में क्या कर रहे हैं ये लोग, क्या कर रहे हैं में भाई, ये लोग क्या कर रहे हैं में भाई। ये बाजू की टीम है, ये बाजू की टीम है भाई, ये बाजू की टीम अच्छा खेलता है भाई, फैल्कन भी है भाई, देखते हैं भाई। हाँ चंचल का भाई। ओ भाई हमारा बंदे को देखो ना पोजीशन लेके बैठा है भाई, मस्त। ओ भाई हमारा ब्लिकर स्नैपर चला रहा है भाई, ब्लिकर ने स्नैपर चला रहा है भाई, ब्लिकर स्नैपर चला रहा है भाई, देख रहे हो भाई। क्या चल रहा है भाई, मेरा आंखों का सुकून दे रहा है भाई इधर भाई, मेरे को आंखों का सुकून। ओ भाई देखो फैक्ट्री के छात्र कौन है, देखो फैक्ट्री के छात्र ले। ओ भाई ये कौन लगा था, अरे भाई ये लोग कोऑर्डिनेशन देखो ना, इतना स्ट्रेटजी मार रहा है भाई। ओ भाई आज डे 1 का मैच हो रहा है भाई, आज डे 1 का मैच 1 चल रहा है भाई। अभी भाई 2 स्क्वाड एलिमिनेट हो गया भाई, पूरी भाई 2 स्क्वाड एलिमिनेट हो गया। ओ भाई साहब मार रहा है बंदे लोग भाई, अरे यार ये सीख भाई, इसको कहाँ है देख रहे भाई, फैक्ट्री में कहाँ है देख रहे। ओ भाई क्या फाइट कर रहे भाई, क्या फाइट कर रहे भाई, क्या फाइट कर रहे, कहाँ पोजीशन है, इधर से कैसे उठ गया, इधर कैसे उठ गया। ओ अच्छा ओ भाई सब उठ गया भाई। ये मोहम्मद भाई क्या भाई, आरएचके भाई लाभ दे दे, लाभ सब एक साथ में आरएचके के लाभ भाई, माला उसका टीम है भाई, अच्छा करेगा भाई। आरएचके हैशटैग आरएचके लगा दे भाई एक से,
लाभ
आरएचके भाई, हमारा आरएचके का फ्लिकर अभी भी जिंदा है भाई, हमारा उसका फुल जिंदा है भाई, देख लो भाई इतना छोटा जूट कितना बंदा 40 बंदा लाइव है भाई, देख लो भाई दिमाग खराब हो रहा है मेरा भाई, इतना बंदा लाइव है भाई। ओ भाई साहब क्या चल रहा है भाई इधर, हमारा इधर क्या चल रहा है भाई। ओ भाई ओ भाई ये क्या चल रहा है भाई अभी भाई 40 बंदा ले भाई 40 बंदा ले भाई 40 बंदा ले भाई क्या चल रहा है भाई ओ भाई क्या फाइट होगा अभी भाई ये क्या फाइट होगा भाई
তারপরে কিছু থাকে না নাই কিছু নাই তারপর
हम जानते हैं सेफ पे RHK ठीक है हम कोई के नहीं जानते ठीक है सब जानते हैं RHK हम लोग
तू भी तुम्हारे बोलने
बहुत सारा टीम है भाई अभी भी इतना सारा किल नहीं हुआ है भाई किल अभी कहाँ है भाई हमारा ब्लीकर अभी कहाँ है देख रहे हो ब्लीकर ब्लेड सब लोग एक घर में है भाई सब लोग घर में है भाई कोई पोजीशन से कोई भी बंदा नहीं हिल रहा है भाई पोजीशन से कोई भी नहीं हिल रहा है भाई बंदे लोग नहीं हिल रहे भाई ओ भाई ये डिप्रेशन में चला गया क्या ओ भाई साहब RHK भाई क्या कर सकते हैं भाई RHK को दिखाओ ना भाई क्या कर रहे हैं भाई ये लोग भाई ये घाट पार्टी कॉल हो रहा है बोलो होल्ड करके भाई उसके उधर भाई इधर फाइट होगा R7 के पास बंदा आ रहा है R7 के पास बंदा आ रहा है
सिकंदर मत बरो
भाई ये लोग तो भाई मार खाने वाला है भाई दोनों इसको ऊपर वाला जो बंदा है ना पोजीशन अच्छा है भाई ओ भाई आगे इधर आगे भाई कैसे आगे दिख रहा है भाई पोजीशन ले रहा भाई होल्ड कर रहा है भाई 40 बंदा रहा है भाई कोई के भाई किल नहीं दे रहा है भाई इधर भाई क्या चल रहा है भाई लोग फाइट हो रहा है किसके पास ओ भाई ऐसे के बाद बोलो भाई ओ बेबी भाई RHK स्कोर में असिस्ट करे भाई बाजू के स्कोर भाई ओ भाई राम ओपी भाग आई यार मार दिया साहिबा ने मार दिया भाई RHK स्कोर भाई इतना अच्छा स्कोर था भाई वो उसका स्कोर भाई हमारा गेम दिखा रहा भाई कहाँ पास है क्या दिखा रहा है भाई एक्शन भाई कितना किल कर रहा है भाई भाई एक बंदा हो गया इसको हर एक बंदा हो गया हमारा भाई किल कर रहे हैं भाई मुझे लगा शायद आ गया हमारा शेर आ गया
मैंने मेकअप कोइरा
भाई अभी तो मजा आ गया भाई हमारा शेर आ गया ब्लेड जा कहाँ है भाई इबोस के साथ इंडोनेशिया का टीम इबोस के साथ फाइट हो रहा है इबोस के साथ भाई क्या आ रहा है भाई इधर भाई क्या चल रहा है भाई ओ भाई साहब अरे भाई क्या कर रहा है भाई इधर क्या कर रहा है भाई ओ भाई क्या फाइट हो रहा है भाई हमारा प्लेयर जिंदा है भाई मर गया अरे भाई साहब मर गया कोई बात नहीं अच्छा खेला भाई वो लोगों ने बहुत अच्छा खेला भाई कोई बात हमारे बांग्लादेश का डिस्कस वाई हो गया अभी कोई बात नहीं हमारा अभी देखते इवोस मारना अभी अच्छा है भाई इवोस के स्कोर अभी 5 किल कर दिया भाई फैल्कन ने 5 किल किया भाई प्लेन ने 5 किल किया भाई हॉट शॉट ने भी 5 किल किया है भाई इतने बड़ी हाँ वही तो भाई क्या कर रहे वो उम्र सब कर दिया भाई अभी क्या चल रहा है ये क्या हो रहा है ये स्पोर्ट क्या ओ ये स्पोर्ट से क्या हो भाई क्या देख रहा हूँ भाई ये क्या देख रहा हूँ गेम मर दिया भाई ओ भाई मुझे कौन ले सकता है भाई मुझे कौन लेगा भाई वो देखना है भाई मुझे कौन लेगा फैल्कन के स्तर पूरा अभी तुमने 10 किल कर दिया भाई पोजीशन भी अच्छा है भाई उस लोगों का पोजीशन भी अच्छा है भाई गेम नहीं मारना चाहिए भाई गेम मारेगा तो भाई ओ भाई गेम पे गिरा ओपी इधर सब अच्छा टीम है कोई भी बुरा टीम नहीं है इधर भाई सब अच्छा टीम है बात भाई सब का आईक्यू देखो ना भाई इधर आईक्यू देखो ना ओ भाई इधर क्या चल ओ भाई लंचा मर दिया लंचा अभी क्या होता है देखते हैं भाई ये अभी क्या होता है भाई ये लोग भाई क्या कर रहे हैं मर गया ओ भाई क्या भाई वन ड्रॉप से क्या भाई ये बस 10 किल कर दिया भाई ये बस ने 10 किल कर दिया और किस पड़े भाई कितने फाल्कन वर्सेस भाई इवोस देख ले भाई तुम मतलब बुझे ले सकते भाई कौन मतलब बुझे ले सकते भाई भाई 11 किल दोनों बंदे के बाद सेम बुझे ले सकते भाई तुम बुझे ले सकते भाई ओ भाई गेम मार के भाई बहुत दे रहे ये क्या था भाई ओ भाई ये क्या चल रहा भाई क्या ये खतरनाक चला भाई भाई फैल्कन बुझे ले गया भाई फैल्कन ओपी भाई फैल्कन ने मुझे ले लिया भाई साहब बहुत बढ़िया कंग्रेचुलेशन भाई नहीं फैल्कन टीम फैल्कन ने मुझे ले लिया भाई कोई बात नहीं हमारा RHK भाई फिर से होगा भाई फिर से होगा भाई भाई साहब क्या कर रहे हैं भाई खतरनाक चल रहा है भाई हम मेरे को देख के सुकून मिल रहा है भाई इतना सारा भाई ओ भाई हाँ बहुत होगा
Call of Duty Warzone. They also
that is as good as this, but it really sets the precedence for the rest of the team. And even when we look at some of the competitors that were knocked out early on, I gotta say, teams like Red Hawks also made a splash. Hotshot Esports also made an impact by threatening teams like Virtus Pro as we approach the endgame. I think if you're Evo's Divine, there's nothing to be disappointed about that round one. Rasia put up a hell of a show, but at the end of the day, when you're up against Falcons, you have to be at 101%.
And Red Hawks managing to shut down AGL as they were desperately trying to get in towards the factory compound. That was perfect. We wanted to see more from the squad out of Bangladesh, and we get to see exactly what they're worth. Red Hawks definitely in the top half of our leaderboard, as we're going to spot it in a little bit. But this was a phenomenal start of the day. We're going to be taking a quick short break, guys. When we come back, it's game number 2 at Purgatory, baby.
কিছু মানুষ আছে বুঝছো কাউরে কিন্তু কোনো কিছু কয় না কিছু লোক আছে
भाई इस लोगों ने क्या किया देखो ना भाई फाल्कन का
লাইনের কিছু लोग
कितना
আছে
कितना कांस्टेंट दूसरे के कॉल देखो भाई भाई
बड़ी बोलना चाहिए
हाथ के स्किल देख रहे हो भाई 2 फिंगर 3 फिंगर 4 फिंगर जितना है वो लगा रहा है भाई अरे बाबू ये
Before they secure the first category out here at Free Fire EWC 25. And one of the storylines for the team going into EWC was the fact that I would like to know too. Absolutely. Now here's the match rankings for our previous matchup. Team Falcons sitting on the top of the nest because we did have the Falcons nest here in Riyadh and already off to a great start. First game of the day, first on top of the leaderboard, securing a whopping number of points. Some other teams though, not so great performances. I know Raja, we had a discussion during that break just now. The Brazilian team looking a little bit slow today. Yeah, I think it's because the Asian teams, the teams from Asia, they normally are more aggressive, and I think Fluxo is feeling something now that they just got wiped out really fast. So I think they need to improve more the game, like being more aggressive maybe, because as I'm saying, like right now, Thai teams and Indonesian teams, they are really fast. Like they wiped every squad like really fast, and I couldn't even like blink my eyes, and then everything just everything it's done. It's done. Yeah, right.
And then first of July. Circle already, there's not so much of space, even the position of those silos in the wall, so they couldn't get away from that, and once Team Falcons managed to use that Oscar again, they just started falling down. Only Cold Shield was remaining, and there's not so much that you can do in a 1v2 situation.
Well, I mean, that's not it, and that's not the only part of the story, because I feel like Evo's Divine notoriously aren't a team that kind of plow through multiple teams at once. They're always, hey, I'll take you on, okay, quick reset, and then we go back out again. And unfortunately, the call from Aimguard was like, all right, we got to take a step back. Had they just taken a 0.5 moment to...
First, we all had like high expectations from Team Falcons, and they really did it. They did an amazing job, actually.
I think not only an amazing job, but I think, I feel like just based off of not only the landing zones, but a couple, even, Alpha before, taking their time, they did 9 points at the very end. So it feels like Latama's region is looking to kind of download how everybody else wants to kind of move across the final few, especially those last 3 circles before anything else.
I mean, one thing I know for sure, especially for Falcons, they want to ramp up into points. And then after that first match, they will study the opponent. So I think there will be a slowdown in the next map. The other teams will be ramping it up, but they will just be like the Falcons, like slide through the sky. Like the eyes are on them, studying where they will be rotating, and then later on we'll see more eliminations.
Yeah, and it's good to add that they did like a bunch of eliminations. I think it was like 15 maybe? 15? Yeah, something like that. But it counts a lot. Like talking about points right now, it's really important to them. So they can be like slow in the next match. I think it's safer for them to do it. Yeah, I think I have to agree with you there, because we see some teams, I think this is historically a Free Fire thing. Anybody that does well during the knockout stage never wins the tournament. Ooh. So we really want to do well during the knockout stage, because you might be giving away too much information to your opponents, right? There's a lot of mind games that happen with Free Fire, and you need to be very careful to play good enough to make it through to the next stage, but not too good in that people figure out where you like to drop, how you like to play. it's a very scary time to be a Free Fire player. Best of the best here. So they're really in their skills. Raja, we are definitely going to have to keep an eye on the Brazilian teams, right? They're not happy with everything over there. But they're going up to Purgatory next. Is this a map that is a little bit more suited for the Brazilian teams? I think Brazilian teams appreciate this type of... it's good to consider, but I mean... It's difficult to say something about like if they will be good or bad. But well, I actually heard a lot about teams from Asia is studying our game, so that's actually true. So probably Brazilian teams they are like studying too. Well, survivors, it looks like we're ready to jump into game number 2. Purgatory is our next map here for Free Fire EWC 25. Bring over to our characters, Husky and AJ. Take away for game number 2.
Thank you very much, Dano, and I am in absolute agreement with Haja. Consistency is key, but I am worried for the Brazilians a tad bit here because we see with our little eye what you guys do not see just yet. But we will keep the surprise for you in a little bit. You're back with your boys, Pistachio and Husky. What a fantastic Bermuda showdown that was. But of course, in game number 2, Husky at Purgatory, neither heaven nor hell. These boys are about to be tested.
Hell have now feeling like a team that is hungry for the win, and I gotta say, coming into game number 2, especially when we look at Purgatory as a map, one of the classic like Raja mentioned, but also one of the biggest that we have, and usually it would instill the habit of teams playing slower, making bigger rotations, right? It might benefit teams like Fluxo, AGAL, Team Falcons who have adopted that. As we hop into the map, we see the team start to parachute out. BB is a team that loves Mode House, but for this map, so fight, they love it.
Absolutely. Fluxo, on the other hand, usually their drop spot at Mount Villa, they're going to try to potentially get there. Question is, because of this skewed flight path, do they get some uninvited business here as well? Because we do see Pain Gaming heading in roughly the same direction alongside Core Memory KOG as well. Fluxo once again going to be trying to play the edges of the circle. We'll catch up with them in a little bit because for the time being, look at how spread out Falcons is out there.
This is insane. Falcons did their homework. Most of the time, if you take Lumber Mill, you take Lumber Mill. Yeah. But spreading out like this means that Team Falcons, they know exactly who they're going up against.
Absolutely.
British Pro, they're still booking it close to the Mode House area because that's where they feel comfortable with. We see sports being taken by Vitality, using they might make a rotation to ski loss, and that's how they've been doing it for most of the time. Earlier conflict at Brasilia, we see Red Hawk, we see Alpha 34, and we also see Evo's Divine coming up on top in this early engagement. AF only getting 1, but 1 is not enough. Coachio actually throws his body at 1-7. He needs to crush it. Our neighbor around him is not going to be easy. And he will clean up Evo's Divine off to a great start.
And Alpha 34, unfortunate for them, they only pick up 2 points after shutting down a couple of players from the side of Evo's Sports. But of course, that doesn't continue. Hot shots, hearing all those gunshots slowly circling towards the compound of Evo's. Question is, do they survive? In the meantime, we also have Vision System. They got taken out of capture too earlier on in Bermuda. Can they survive long enough? The Mac 7 to the chest. Joda out of the equation already, and just like that, you see Vision System down in the dumps once again.
Red Hawks once more. An explosive start to the round. 3 points. Vision System completely crippled, bruised, and battered. They have to somehow recover. Good news is that unlike round number 1, they still have 1 survivor. But when you look at this replay from Red Hawks and Najat, really just right on the money with the trigger finger. Every single shot coming through, Evo Divine as well. Even off screen, we see Bob taking a number for himself.
Yeah, and you know, a little bit unfortunate here for Vision System because we did see Chick getting aimed a tad bit earlier on So Red Hawks know exactly where their opponents are. And the Bangladeshi squad is making a conscious choice to not go in here for the chase. Vitality, on the other hand, in a little bit of a pickle. They fly straight into AGAL. Those grenades doing heavy, massive damage alongside the FGL, but Koja stepping in at the wrong time. Facing the F590 down onto the ground. Instant pickup, that's Retiva. But Pure now put down onto the ground. And Vitality losing too many players back to back.
Cypher is low, but not low enough to be knocked down. Vitality wants revenge, but AGAL is not going to make it easy. They got to work for it every step of the way. Koja getting knocked down once more by Chinoy. As the numbers of Vitality dwindle, this is number 4. And AGAL denied a revenge.
Oh, fantastic play by AGAL. They were the receivers in that battle. It was Vitality that came flying up straight against them. And a great opener from Cypher with that M590. But now Hotshot up against EVOS. And unfortunately for EVOS, they are meeting their end very, very quickly because it was a double player reset earlier on. Hotshot just got 3 points off of them.
Good stuff for Hotshot. Taking out stragglers first in the long run will benefit you. And I think the teams who are more experienced, right? We talk about the SEA and the Brazilian teams that are willing to give away bodies for info because they will get that lead out afterwards. But for teams like Hotshot, like Red Hawk, these points matter a lot. We see Pain Gaming and Alpha 34 at each other's throat. Noda has gets knocked down but instantly gets brought back up to his feet. Revive for Evil Divine once more. Unfortunately for Chris, is a bit isolated.
Yeah, Pain Gaming has got the advantage here up against Vision System. Can they get away? Pain Gaming, their debut at EWC alongside a couple of boys inside of Vision System. Some of them do have a little bit of experience here at EWC 24. Because of the lack of numbers here, they are going to be in a little bit of a downside. Good time, gonna pull down the nick of time, but just steps out on the wrong side of it, gets nailed down through the ground. Peter, wrong gun for the situation, but eventually they got the numbers for backup. Maxi gets taken out, brought right back in.
Pain Gaming with 3 points that they have finally quell the aggression from Vision System, and teams unfortunately will just have to stay hidden. But early on we saw a Q order put out on him by Virtus Pro, and they are hunting for that elimination.
And they're just right behind him. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be surviving for any longer now. They'll have to catch up in a little bit. So, 2 points early game, flirting to the edge of the circle, heading straight into it. Maxi, they spot him out, pushes in alongside MP7. That AWM, you ain't gonna get away that easy. Maxi gets snuffed out. And once again, Vision System on the back foot.
Core memory right across, Jump taking a heap of damage. Now they can try to spam that blue wall, it goes down. Jump trying to play some footsie work, actually gets to cover, but Flixo now kicks in the high gear, running straight at Jump, but they have no idea where Cool is just yet. Jump not able to buy enough time, and Bob finds that knock.
A beautiful play with that XMA. Gets the headshot, puts Jump down on the ground instantaneously. Core Memory XKOG, they've got the numbers overall for the survival, but Cougar is in hot soup right now. Surrounded by the players of Flixo, he's about to beat his end in a little bit. EVOS continuing their onslaught up against Hotshot, down in numbers. Rakia, does he have the sniper in hand? Has got the plasma gun, but nothing up against Action Coin. Has got the rate of fire, and Rakia gets knocked down.
10 মিনিটও সময় দিবা না তখন
Well, EVOS again on the back foot. 2 more survivors left out now.
There can only be 1 out of 2 Tigers on the top of the mountain, and so far the Pakistani Tigers is reigning supreme. Evil's Divine still in it with 2 members. Very, very critical in terms of manpower as we are heading deeper into the mid-game. 7 minutes. Evil still has some time to bring the members back and restructure, but it has to happen quickly.
Virtus Pro not really hunting much out there, looking for those coins, still outside the blue zone, tanking a tad with the damage. This one's not going to hurt them too much just yet, but in 18 seconds they will feel the pain. But getting into the circle and a double R1 scan right in front of them as well. Those Dynamulus used well to find the rotation, but unfortunate for them, Yeah, Dinoculus didn't scan anyone, but players are rotating in towards their compound a tad bit later. They're about to be in for a surprise. Exposy on that high ground. AWM RHK in hand. A double snipe setup for one of the most dangerous snipers, Motovia. Riptide Rhythm breaking down his defenses, and Ray from the back takes advantage.
And Ray should know that there's more than just Pain Gaming, because more than just Virtus Pro. Pain Gaming is right around the corner. This rotation with Team Falcon is also coming in from the southern side as we get a bit of a ceasefire on the northern part of the map. Airdrop collected once more 8 minutes into the game. Did he speed up Ray? Can he navigate this? 3 different teams, 3 different players.
Diamond going in here for the hunt. 8124 pop. Whoa! No chance! Woodpecker around the corner. Barely needed to use his M590, wasn't in shooting range, and no problem whatsoever. This is one of the deadliest tactics that the Dice Squad bring onto the table. Everyone's a flex player. They've got the range for shot all along.
I think Ingod is Evo's Divine's last chance to score 2. He really wants to book it for the vending machine, but he's about to get surrounded by AGAL and Virtus Pro. We're going to check in on them in a little bit. This Brookso now are already doing so much better compared to game 1 as they start to make that deep rotation towards the circle, but they're going to cut through the southern island.
Looks so at Mount Villa, even though the flight path is leading everyone right there. He's gonna play it safe, and it is memory out of their reach of the chat. Early here, Don's all alone, but some warning shots straight at them for him to rotate back in, but an island.
If you say backup, it's not going to come easy. There's a huge distance to cover. If you put down the launch pad, let's see what the cost will be. We'll just
They had the right intention, the right idea. What they did not expect was for the rest of the core memory players to be on the opposite island. Shot them out of the sky like little ducks flying around. Barbecue time later on for core memory, but the question is, can they get into the circle as well? We'll catch up with them in a little bit. Virtus Pro now in a 4v4 up against EVOS Esports. Virtus Pro though has got that high ground advantage. Both of them about to be present by the circle in 10 seconds.
The difference is that leverage, that first idea that they have. But the levitation favors Virtus Pro. Hit to the back, thankfully makes it alive. The vest that he has, but for EVO's Divine, at least they could make that beeline straight into the circle if they want to. There is still some room to work with, but for Virtus Pro, if they can stall this out a bit more, it is going to be a nightmare for EVOS.
This is unexpected. Aimgod, who was outside the circle, far away earlier on, now slowly circling in. He could just be the one that dismantles this squad. We'll have to catch up with this action between Virtus Pro and EVOS in a little bit. In the meantime, it's AGAL taking on their brothers from Thailand. Falcons, no eliminations, just get playing the slower game this time around.
A lot of nades come in, but Sci-Fi is about to get flushed out. Multiple ice cream nades. Sorry, so it's been Sci-Fi needs to relocate. The first time the blue walk to make it happen. He is the first contact, but Tino just blasted out of the fire. That is not within the playbook of AGAL. And now they got thrown in the shadow. Surrounding Sci-Fi from all angles. He needs to somehow hold on.
Yes, Sci-Fi desperately holding on. M590 is the right weapon in his hand. Has got the inhaler as well. He got his right back up just a little bit, and as he tries to burst himself out of that, you find him, put him on the ground. Barrow goes straight out. On his feet for the side of AGAL, and Falcons about to eat another one right up. Limit to the BSK, that's the distraction. Riptide Rhythm breaking down the defenses as well. That Limit takes advantage with a long-range capability. BSK finds a victim, and unfortunately, it's the final player of AGAL.
Surgical as always. The circle now against the Pain Gaming against the Red House. Pain Gaming taking the fight straight to Bangladeshis, but not reaching. That's a right idea. The Pain Gaming don't have the help to work with. He stands back in the play zone. Is going to knock him down. The Red House are in an advantageous spot on the home ground.
And Kruger's just holding a train. Nobody's forcing on the just yet. A back and forth between Peter and the player from the side of Red Hawks, but the pickup is instantaneous. They're playing the team like a champ, and Bane Gaming now just trying to stay away from the rest of them as Red Hawks barricades themselves into the house, but the rest of Core Memory dropping on two off the roof, and Bane Gaming right down.
So that's for the good thing if you are Red Hawks, Core Gaming.
Yes. সময়টা এখন কোভিড টাইমে বাংলাদেশের সবচেয়ে বেশি যে গেমটা খেলা হয় খেলতে আসেন
So that's for the good thing if you are Red Hawks, Core Gaming. Here, Core Memory should the best job with that today. Now the jump gets pushed down, and that's only 2 for CXK number 3. Red Hawks, they do not stand a single chance to play. Instantly dulled by jump, and Core Memory continues their work out.
Yeah, an unfortunate run here for Red Hawks. They did phenomenally well up against Bane Gaming. The Core Memory just pushed on it all thanks to the information Cougar gave away. Sitting down on top of the roof, really comfortable, waiting for the opportune moment, and the jump pad is the Core Memory dream come true, and Red Hawks get taken down as well. They did have the Diva, so picking him up shouldn't be too much of an issue. It's jump and sexy! Suspecting outside the center, attacking damage from the blue, pulls away
That's why you pile loose ends. Evil's Divine. Now the fate rests all on this Wonder Kid. Wow. The new addition to Evil's Divine. We know what he could do. We've seen him in action even before he was legally allowed to play due to age restriction. And here he is. CXK with 12 points and not going to make it any further. Rossia also perished to the blue. We're down to just 3-2.
And they go for a back-to-back. 100% success rate for this squad. Up against, believe it or not, Pakistan, Hotshot, Esports, and Virtus. Courtesy of Pakistan, breaking down the defenses of Peter. Peter exposed, but he has got enough blue walls to keep himself protected. The crossfire being set up by the players at the back. Unfortunately, Exposing trying to get it right. Gets rolled down by the two squads.
Good tactics from Hotshot Esports. They knew exactly back to the defense of the team. No longer in this game. The Pakistanis might have a chance to make a statement. Is them and Virtus Pro is the Polar Bear and the Pakistani Tigers.
Pakistan's in the back, baby. It is 4v4, all equal on both sides. And Hasuex has got the right gun as well. And what a pull on the Cassie. Making them up. Action is ready for a little bit of that. The Cassie blocking up the damage from the grenades as well. Brilliant play thus far from the Pakistani squad. Ready to cut down this thing. Also breaking down a couple of defenses, but the super defense with those blue walls erected once again. And Action missteps being put down to the ground.
Yeah, they take the fight stage to VP, but VP is more than ready. And now the Virtus Pro walks in.
A little bit too aggressive from the Pakistani side. They delivered. Virtus Pro just proving to be. Absolutely, man. Diamond, Kuwara, Nameless, all jumping on in here. Brilliant plays overall, but of course, he was a tad bit unfortunate. We'll have to wait to see what they can do later on. But of course, a quick short break. We'll come back to game 3 in a bit.
Double kill.
Oh भाई क्या खटपटी कर रहा है भाई
ก็จะปรับการเล่นให้เข้ากับทีมมากครับไม่ได้อยากเล่นให้ตัวเองโดดเด่นแค่ทีมได้แชมป์ก็ดีใจมากก็ปีนี้เพิ่มผมมาในรับก็อยากได้แชมป์ทุกรอบรักษาแชมป์ตำแหน่งผมจะเป็นตำแหน่งสไนเปอร์ครับตำแหน่งที่โคบอยู่หลังที่สุดและก็เป็นตำแหน่งที่สำคัญที่สุดด้วยเป็นแชมป์อีกรอบหนึ่งครับในวันจันทร์ของผมก็คือน่าจะ การที่ยังไม่เคยได้แชมป์โลกครับแต่ก็เคยได้แชมป์ทุกอย่างมาแล้วเหลือแค่แชมป์โลกแชมป์เดียวครับ
5 মিনিট এই দেখ এনথনে আমার বাসায় যাবো এনথনে বাসায় যাবো বাসায় যে দোকানে যাবো দোকান থেকে বাসায় আমু 15 মিনিট কত বাজে আমার ফোন
ตรงไปซ้ายเฮ้ยเอาการชนเฮ้ยโหลเฮ้ย70มันเล่นไม่แล้ว
ভিডিও কলে কথা
লেনต่อ
Happy teams are performing here at EWC, and so far there are a couple of things we're actually starting to notice. Two things for you. What's not so hot, but you also have a team that you're kind of impressed in the next match, and it's good to see Pakistan seems like doing that well. You know, we can see like hot shot. They got some eliminations and points, and it's really good to see because we are not expecting this, right, guys?
No, we went, and remember actually last year, Hot Shots almost made it through to the second stage. I think, Neptune, you would remember this. We were cheering for Hot Shots. We were on the panel saying, go, Hot Shots are so close. And they might have fallen short last year, but it looks like they might be getting a little bit closer to actually making it to that second stage, Neptune. But Neptune, you actually looked at Hot Shots.
Has been introduced recently to the international scene. Like how they play, how they move. I think they studied their opponents, especially from those in Southeast Asia, because judging from the movements, those are Southeast Asia teams' movements. I want to say that it's Southeast Asian, but I want to see them prove themselves one more time, right? One more match, if they can get another second place, if I'll find the booyah, then I'll have to agree with you, no choice. But I'm just sad that, because teams like this, you're expecting them, when they hot up, when they start getting into fight, Red Hawks also included in this conversation, they're actually Indonesia ranking, and they're number 1, even ahead of Hot Shot. So a lot of teams are starting to figure out, okay, sure, you may lose a couple of engagements here, our mechanics can be a little bit better, but any mistakes from this point onwards, you're going to need to call a doctor to fix it up.
And talking about booyah, that's the reason why it's so important, because our format, it's probably all about it. You know, you need to get that booyah. So it's good when you see like a team that can do it really well and can do like eliminations and get the booyah and everything. So I think Virtu's Pro.
Everybody, we're back with some more content here.
Ikelah takinya. Nah, eta bir. Ini yaki. Nah, aro bir.
Police 2025.
That big team. Say we wait for me.
We close this out.
Because I think they can do like a really good job, and they have a Peter also, which is a really good rusher too.
But what are the odds that Hot Shot faces off against Team Gaming right off the bat?
I mean, Raja, it's called hot takes for a good
dominating, sure, but
rush for you. As we get into the match.
Jen, the year 0.
I think that's key what you just said there, right? Aggression, but it's always calculated aggression. They are capable of it, but they are always calculating as to when to get it. A little bit too long to warm up, and these
is Hot Shot going to be able to do just
off that intelligence, going to fare well. How we saw aggressive from Hot Shot to the final circle, Hot Shot shouldn't have gone that aggressive.
But it's okay. I think at least you kind of see what Hotshot is capable.
Oh yeah.
Right? Do I want them to keep it up? I think moderation is the key.
Yeah.
And hop into game number 3 is Kalahari, one of my favorite maps. But according to what Raja says, some of these Brazilian teams prefer the El Clasico. Kalahari is not one of those maps, but at least the flight path is very forgiving. Right through the middle, Refinery is going to be a hot spot for the Indonesians.
And the knockout stage leaders at this point of time will be your Free Fire at EWC 2024 Champions Team Falcons. How about that? From not performing well at all during their run at FFWSC to heading on into EWC and starting off things at the very top, they must be really excited. But of course, let's see if or not consistency would be their key to continue dominating out there. Very early on, Angor is about to be aimed at.
That's the brutality of competitive Free Fire, right? It really doesn't matter how you start. The only thing that matters is the end result. As much as it sucks to hear that, only the end result matters. Only those who can step up when all the chips are down is going to come out on top. At least that's the lesson that Team Falcons taught us last year. Refinery used to be a hotspot for Indonesian teams, right now taken over by Vision System.
And a very slow start here at Kalahari, which is going to be deadly because all the teams will have their hands on those coin machines and enough room to purchase those hook guns and rotation around the battlefield. This time around, but it's okay.
For us, throwing a jackpot right off the bat, getting an airdrop. Couldn't have a better start. He was the one that just instantly got into a vehicle and started driving the moment he dropped around the maze, which is one of the few deadly areas, at least in SCA. For some reason, people like to fight in the maze, but if you get control, if you get access to a vehicle early on, you get these kind of luxury. And let's hope it pays off for Virtus Pro. They have a good spot to rotate to. They're scanning north side. Well, I think it's AGAL that dropped the R1 and scan nameless. AGAL are on the northern end of Foundation.
And we get a quick shot here of Vision as well. They had Vision and they perhaps may be able to find a few extra points out here up against Virtus Pro. In they go, looking for the hunt at the maze. AGAL would have definitely seen them flying on it as well, so it doesn't mean Vision System has got the upper hand here. It's all up until AGAL decides to drop by and say hello, nameless. Almost got put down there.
I just said that. Teams like to fight here. It's good to see it quiet, but Vision System is so intentional. They don't want to play by the book. Vitality against Team Falcons. One a body for another on fire. Blasted from the back by Evo. By the Indonesians.
Absolutely, Falcons were going in for the hunt onto Vitality, but saved by the appearance of EVOC Sports now. Angor Rasya all up at the top, dropping player after player limit. Question is, they think that revival running on out. The teams are insurance policy for the squad. And then they made a comeback for the Booyah, so we can't count them out just yet.
Of course not. Kalahari is so much harder, right? So much more open to be careful about. Jump getting knocked by GU as CHK now have to do with Flux, so that's the Reptile Rhythm. It's a bit more faster now in this new update, and Don will have to back off. Cougar being able to sidestep and take cover. Fluxo down to just GU and MC7.
And the plasma gun, one that we have not seen in a long time in meta, is finally back with a bang. GU spot out, Senzi, down you go, baby. AWM not quick enough, and GU will instantly pick up that elimination for himself. But here's the problem though, core memory, they are outnumbering the players of Fluxo. Butch is in as well as Bob, down on the ground, eliminated too early. No vending machine in the area for a quick revival as well.
Great rotation from GU, just had the hook gun to facilitate that, but Don does not want to let him get away. After he sees the jump, the timing a bit off for Don, couldn't really get a couple of shots off for GU. Once more, to come Don wants to chase. He has backup coming in, and GU now will have a 1-2
the sniper just yet, but look at this drop changing into the hands of Limit, perhaps all the revivals free, bringing back the rest of his team members. GU caught in a really tough spot here, and the impressive thing is Con memory. Just sending 2 players on for the hunt. They do understand that Futsal does have another player alive and kicking out there on the battlefield. Gio has the right gun, but doesn't have the numbers on his side. Too low on HP. Cougar with the X590 puts him out.
Pretty tough to fight in this environment when you are outnumbered, but a good attempt from GU. Futsal still in the running with 2 extra members, so a revival must have came to at some point. Couple of highlights from the earlier stage of the round. You see Falcon and Vitality duking it out before Evil's Divine shows up and just shuts the show down.
Yeah, absolutely. And Vitality obviously really happy with that situation. They got to scurry away, hit those revivals, and back in here to the full squad. Unfortunately, though, they haven't brought any points up onto the board just yet. Vision System spotting out potential opponents here. Went in for the chase earlier on, but we'll drop back now to check out what AGAL is all about. Doja with the Tatsuya and the Oscar has got a double dance there in hand, so he's going to be pretty deadly. Probably going to give him a little bit of extra confidence as well, but instantly that confidence taken away by Cypher and his headshot. AC-80 to the head, and Vision System on the back foot as well.
Instant disengage from Vision System. Virtus Pro will have to face up against Pain Gaming, Viper and Mammoth. Plenty of open ground, plenty of crevices that you can hide yourself in and hop up for an ambush. Blue Wall Mountain has been able to Kona and that singular Blue Wall. Good and Peter drops another 2. It's going to take some time for VP to break right through, but in no time, from behind. Finds the penetration, and VP are looking to clean up, but those guys are looking
and then breaking down anything that they have to defend themselves up against the shots of Pain Gaming. They sure as hell brought the pain down onto Virtus Pro. Map for
Danny hit the nail on the head on the panel, right?
Yeah.
Instead, get Booyah, finds confidence, and then they blow out the next round. VP being cursed by that, but Pain Gaming really stepping it up. I have heard hard shots during the clip. A Cypher finds a freebie on the Maxi, and that's the last mistake of Vision System out in 11.
Well, thank God Hotshot didn't take the Booyah then. An opportunity to pick up a few more points out there. AGL on the hunt. Vision System, they were the aggressive ones initially. AGL didn't even play the third party. They just bided their time, waiting for that opportunity, and it all started off with an AC-80 by Cypher. Vision System out early once again.
I know we have a lot of disagreements about Kalahari, but I think one thing we can agree on is that a slow Kalahari game is the scariest game overall.
Oh yeah.
With so much open area. We see Dynata is being pulled out. Couple of knocks on kill feed, they find Cypher. Rotation from Team Falcons, finding some Raven. Here comes Evil's Divine, who have recollected their footstep and retraced it straight to AGAL and find 6 points, but they're on the hunt for more. Deal in the red, has a rival point, but there's no time for any static movement. So Evil's Divine will keep on chasing.
Oh, but he was in trouble though. Pain Gaming rotating towards their compound at the very same time, and he was attacked but too busy on the hunt here, looking for the final player on the side of AGAL. Gochil will be able to spot him. This is the first shot, and the jump pad allows him to survive a little bit long and just a slightly bit. And Pain Gaming, on the other hand, pulling the brakes instantaneously, not wanting to drop by this compound too early. Evil's Divine finding Chinoy, but the revival for AGAL was pretty phenomenal.
Pain Gaming found a better bounty than dealing with Evil's Divine is the revived member, the freshly returned members of AGAL. And that's repicking for Pain Gaming if they can find them around Mammoth. Paul Melvin going for an extremely low rotation. Just a little bit with one shot and hold the ground. You can see Pain Gaming, they've already found a couple of numbers from AGAL.
The fastest vehicle they can find out there on the deserts of Kalahari. It won't give them much more protection from some of the elevation as the drop off these. clear. Fame Gaming on the other hand, 6 eliminations strong. A beautiful start for this Brazilian squad this time round. And thus finally finding that high octane action on their side, and they are not on the losing end for the time being. And I think chaos is about to befall all of us here, Husky. Only 2 teams out of the equation so far, and this is not a huge map at all.
No, it's like a volcano about to erupt like this. You can already hear the friction. They're about to slide off each other's equilibrium, and when that happens, the eruption is going to be uncontrollable. We are seeing Core Memory, AGAL, and Fluxo collide at the sub. That could kind of narrow down some of the numbers on this map. Bob's final Chinoy. Fluxo getting a couple of eliminations under their belt as well. Bob with the first winning elimination on this map.
Well, Core Memory has got the advantage here. Fluxo out in the open. Cougar spotted him out already. But as they take damage from the circle, question is when they go in for that strike. There's good double blue wall erected instantaneously. Bob saving the squad with the defense. And now the grenade made. Oh, what a draw made by Bob! And then instantaneously dismantles
What a 3-pointer from this man. 2 back-to-back grenades. And then T7 finds its MC. Core Memory stood no chance in this fight where they should have had the advantage. And now the Reverend Core Memory are going to get dispatched one by one. Pushes it and Bob's coming in. Double for Fluxo.
And that shot I was looking for, MP7. He did not. Finally, Fluxo. Performance here at the sub. Now, dealing with the circle, making it into the next save zone. It's going to be a little bit of a problem because they're hitting straight into the confines of Refinery. High ground action once again might just put them out of the count. They need to depend on those jump pads as well as a couple of shots out of those
Hotshots started firing at Flicker. They did take the jump pads and take up Refinery towards the southern end of the compound. AGAL doing the same thing, about to land right on Falcons too. Gotta be ready and be absolutely. I had to hit the poison.
Oh, what the relationship I do. Get that shot in action with the card. Of all got bumped in the season and performing really well in the hands of the Asian squad.
It's a Dinosaur scan as well. 5 plays being scanned out. I think it should be crazy of Red Hawk. As Core Memory gets eliminated in 10th place. 19th remain. Here comes Evo's Divine about to fight Patriots from Indonesia. Vitality right on their radar. Evo's Divine on the hunt.
Evo's Divine, one of the leaders